I walk into the apartment, I open the door, and immediately a smell hits you. Now, I can't really describe the smell, but it's very unpleasant. So now I begin to just, do your general, just looking around, and all of a sudden I'm like, it looks like the wall is moving. So hundreds and hundreds of roaches on this guy's wall. That's just when you walk in. His mattress was completely infested with roaches. You could barely see it at the mattress, the color of the mattress, I'll put it that way. It looked brown. My name is Larry Bernhardt. I work for Top Notch Pest Control. I've been an exterminator for about 13 years now. Most pests will reproduce according to food. And unfortunately, New York is severely overpopulated. So there's an abundance of food and shelter for them to just keep reproducing. Ton of rats, rodents, roaches, you name it, it's pretty much in New York. A few places I would never want to live is pretty much next to old multi-unit buildings. So like your pre-war buildings, that's basically any building that was like built before World War II. In New York City, there's a bunch of holes in the buildings. They're not up to date regulation-wise. Old piping, stuff like that will always cause, pest problems. A bunch of places for the rodents and pests to hide. And yes, next to a park because you don't know what's going on inside of the park with all the rodents. Rats tend to burrow, and if there's a bunch of ground that they could burrow into, they're going to tend to nest there. Once they start looking for food, if there's not food ready for them, they're going to make their way into buildings. Especially in the winter, they're looking for warmth. If your building is the closest to the park, you're going to be the first place that they go. So the worst floor to live on would actually be the ground level or first floor. Pests generally start to go from ground up, especially rodents. So you'll get your rat issues and your mouse issues from the ground up. The pest problem is terrible near restaurants. It really has to do with the garbage, them disposing of it in the proper ways, and also in like a timely manner. A lot of these restaurants, they'll just have like a dumpster out in the back and they're just putting the garbage right there. What happens is after nighttime, the rats are just going to eat. So as they eat, they'll reproduce more. And also with these takeout restaurants, if they are having a pest problem and one actually has a roach egg in it and now you're putting it in your cabinet, yes, you now have an infestation of roaches. I think most New Yorkers don't know that a roach egg will typically have 30 to 40 babies in it. So, generally somebody sees one roach, they kill it and they kind of move on with life. They don't realize that the first thing you should be doing is calling a professional, or at least, trying to take care of it on your own, that there's probably 30 more that you're just not seeing. The most important things would actually be taking the trash out every night and making sure there's no dirty dishes in the sink. Also, no clutter. Clutter is the worst because once something gets in, you're not going to be able to find it due to all the clutter and the messy conditions. We're never going to be ahead of it until people start taking, sanitary, matters very seriously. I make my way into the bedroom. His mattress was completely infested with roaches. I've never seen that in all the years I've been doing pest control.
What does that mean, infested with roaches?
You could barely see it at the mattress, the color of the mattress, I'll put it that way. It looked brown.